Has there been a time where you felt overwhelmed, tired? This nature thing or loving nature, sustainability?
Once I had grown up and I saw, what it looks like outside, I realized there was love at home.
Tell me about it.
I've been overwhelmed, I've been tired, and at some point I felt like giving up.
Right.
I don't know that I've had any outright negative reaction.
Okay.
It's just really more of questioning you and your sanity.
Right.
Do you know what you're doing? Why are you wasting all this money?
When I started the journey of sustainability thing, I was called all sorts of names.
All of a sudden, it's almost as if people have said, "Oh, there's money in this thing. Oh, there's money in this thing."
I was going to get there.
Let's what of it we've been sleeping on this industry.
The plastic we are throwing away, this stuff was made from the plastic. So people are really, wow, they were really amazed at what they are saying as something useless.
Yes.
I see beauty.
I'm studying sustainability. The first thing that comes to mind is, what's that? What are you going to do with that? What are you going to, what kind of a degree is that? Why are you spending so much money studying that? And then I have to sit down and start explaining. But I will say something.
February is the month where we celebrate romance, affection, and connection. But today we're asking the deeper question. What does it mean to fall in love with nature? And on that note, I say welcome to another sizzling episode of the Naija Eco Vibes Podcast, where stories, people, and purpose meet, and where we remind ourselves that conservation is not just about science and policy, but about people, their journeys, and their unique stories. And of course, I will not be doing this alone. I've got amazing people in-house with me, but importantly, the podcast is powered by the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, the premier environmental organization in Nigeria that handles sustainable development and helps to see growth as regards to climate change and other pressing environmental issues. You can find us at NCF Nigeria and also at Naija Eco Vibes Podcast. I am Shomi, and today it's the Valentine edition. Love is in the air with the Valentine edition, and it's a good time to be talking about beautiful conversation. And today we are looking at what love means in terms of action and commitment. Okay, and I've got people, seasoned experts with me right here to talk about this conversation, and I believe that you pick one or two things that can also help you take action. Of course, to my left, I've got Naomi Donatus, the founder of Bloxys Incorporated. Naomi, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Awesome. And also to my left, I've got Zainab Kadri Lawal. How are you doing today, Zainab?
I'm fine, thank you.
Awesome. Nice to have you guys join us. Okay, so I'll start with you, Naomi. You want to just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do, so we get to know you better?
Sure.
Yeah.
My name is Naomi, and I study sustainability at Purdue Global University. Outside of the work that I do in sustainability, I also run a non-profit called Bloxys Incorporated, and my career sits at the intersection of leadership, sustainability, and social impact.
Awesome. Nice. Once again, nice to have you with us here.
Thank you.
All right, Zainab, why don't you also tell us a little more about you so we get to know you well?
Okay, thank you. My name is Kadri Lawal Zainab, a recent graduate of environmental biology at Yaba College of Technology. Apart from being a student, I'm the team lead and founder of Zanitecture Recycling Company Limited, where we convert non-biodegradable waste like tire and plastic into eco-friendly furniture and other creatives. Interesting.
So you mean what you guys do now, you convert supposed waste materials into viable products. You want to touch more about that?
Okay. Yes, we convert tire and plastic PET bottles into eco-friendly furniture like center table, sitting chair, and other creatives like wall decor and all. Apart from us selling, we empower people, most especially young people, women to be precise. So because personally, I'm very key when it comes to women supporting women.
Interesting. So, I was going to ask, what about men now?
So we empower people just to reduce the rate of unemployment in the country. So apart from us making profits, we are also making impact in the country.
Awesome. Nice to have you here. Will join us once again. So I'll come over to you, Naomi. Okay. So of course, we're talking about love. they don't hear me tell say make I go find wife, make I go find girlfriend. But of course, within the context of our conversation today about nature, was there a moment where you had a connection? Was there any time where growing up you had this connection with nature? Was there a moment that stood out for you like that?
So I grew up with parents who are farmers.
Oh, okay.
So when they came to Lagos, because it is what they knew, even though they had their own place,
right?
They had their own house, they still decided they wanted to continue it. Not necessarily in a large scale commercial type way, but just because it's something that they like, and they like the accessibility that it gives them in terms of food and in terms of just having fresh vegetables.
Right.
So my parents used to have a farm. So I pretty much more or less grew up with having that, nature around me.
Oh, okay.
And I would say I did not realize how important it was until I grew up. Just because I've always been surrounded by it. But once I had grown up and I saw, what it looks like outside, I realized there was love at home.
Tell me about it.
And I realized there's just this serenity that nature gives you. And it just really helps me to appreciate it more. Because I used to take it for granted, just having somewhere you could go and just be lost in your thoughts and just be calm and at ease. I did not necessarily see the big deal in it until I grew up and I realized how much of a privilege it was that I grew up with that.
Right, amazing stuff. I know when you talked about finding a place where you could just be one with nature, where serenity is key. You just reminded me of where we are, this amazing space that we are. Of course, we are just reaching you live from the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, and premium oxygen is what we always pride ourselves in that we have here, and so it's a beautiful space. If you want to come out and chill, you can always come out and do that here. But so Zainab, I also like to come to you. So what was the first moment that connected you with nature? Or what time could you say back in history, flashing back, you say planted that seed about nature, that you become nature aware?
Well, while growing up, I fell in love with rain.
With rain? Okay.
Why? There is this calmness and ease that rain brings whenever it falls. So there was a particular moment, my life, or let me say I was in a chaos moment.
Right.
Everything, I was not, I wasn't at ease. Everything was just happening at the opposite side. So rain fell and with the calmness, I was able to think, and solutions started coming in for me. So therefore, I was able to connect that, okay, if this rain could bring calmness for me, definitely it is what I can fall in love with. So any moment it rains, I use that moment to think about because I'm a busy person. I don't have that room to settle. But whenever it rains, I use that opportunity. Then COVID also made me fall in love with nature more. Because it was during COVID I got to know about sustainability. Right. It was during COVID I got to know about climate action. It was during COVID I got to know about things we can recycle and upcycle. Right. And it was that moment that I noticed that environment is very fragile. It needs our care, it needs our support, and let me say rain and COVID.
Interesting takes. When you were talking about rain, I remember back then when we were small, we always look for we always wait on the rain, heavy rain. When you see that it's raining like this, you just take off all our clothes and run outside and wait and play in the rain, jump in the rain and all of that stuff. Memories. So but another interesting question I'd like to ask, and I'd like to come to you, Naomi. So of course I know you mentioned Blocks is Incorporated, and I know you're also big on community and you do a few stuff here and there. But has there been a moment where you felt like, this love for nature thing, this sustainability thing, I'm tired? Has there ever been a time where you almost felt like you were losing momentum, you were tired? Has there been a time like that?
I would not say tired. That's not the word I would describe it with.
Right.
But I've definitely felt some level of overwhelm.
Oh, okay.
And I would attribute it to, I just felt like there's not been a lot done. And I think it's a collective thing that happens because when you speak to other people who do sustainability as well, there's what we call the eco-anxiety.
Eco-anxiety?
Yeah, so the term basically just depicts anxiety that is that can be ascribed to like the climate change, and feeling like there's not been enough done when it comes to sustainability. So,
okay, so that's a thing.
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Eco-anxiety.
Yes, eco-anxiety is a term. I actually did not know that was what it was until like a year ago.
Okay.
But I just knew that there was a lot of overwhelm. Sometimes you think about it and it's like, why is nobody doing anything about this? So there's definitely been that moment for me.
Okay.
And it gets difficult because it almost feels like you are speaking into the ether. Like people don't necessarily care. It's like, okay, climate change is happening, so what? And it almost what it also does to you, if you're not careful, you start to feel like there's not a lot that you can do.
Right.
You start to feel that paralysis. So there's definitely been that moment for me where I felt overwhelmed, where I felt anxious, sort of, and where I felt almost powerless, because I just felt there was not a lot being done.
Interesting. Okay, so and staying with you, so at instances like that, so what powers you through?
So something that's helped me for sure is turning to community.
Right.
Yes. So I have a community, Blocks is Incorporated. And so I think that's where we can leverage the power of community. There's so much that can be done when you have community. So I remember in 2024, when I got to know about NCF, the first thing I did was, oh my God, there's something like this exists. And I went to tell everybody, let's sign up, let's become members. And they were excited about it. I remember somebody telling me, I've never heard of NCF. What's that?
Interesting.
So, so I feel like it just made the journey more exciting and more interesting, because now I'm not doing it alone. There are people who are interested. There are people who have piqued the interest of so many different people, and we are committed to learning this together. So community has definitely helped, and also not just community in that sense, but also finding people. The internet is very, very vast, and there are so many resources. So finding people online who have an affinity to sustainability and to helping the environment as well, that's something that's helped too.
Awesome thoughts right there. I was even going to ask and say, so for instance, now with this heat nowadays, so if I'm in my room, I'm trying to sleep, heat, I'm sweating, I'm struggling. Can I say I'm also eco anxious? Oh my God, but that's on the lighter note. But yeah, thanks. Awesome takes. Zainab, I'll come to you now as well, and also ask, of course, keeping with the same line of thoughts. You know, has there been a time where you felt overwhelmed, tired? This nature thing, or loving nature, sustainability, has there been a time where you felt overwhelmed or tired?
Yeah, I've been overwhelmed. I've been tired, and at some point, I felt like giving up.
Right.
Because when I started the journey of sustainability thing, I was called all sorts of names by people, because I started it. It is a Yoruba name. Like, I don't really know how to call it. You know, the term Yoruba give all this malam who picks for to Shagulu, Shake, and Bola, and also because I started the journey. But when I got to know about the environment, I started practicing waste picking. Right. I was always going with sack or bag. So if I'm working with you and if I should see bottles inside the gutter, I'll leave you. Go inside the gutter and then pick. So you know,
I'm sure then people are looking at what's wrong with this? What's going on
so
here?
Because they don't understand, we're like, hey, what's this? Please don't work with me. And all. So it's just that I turned my room into a store of pet bottles.
Interesting.
So I started going around. So at some point, I didn't give up, because I have some set of people criticizing. Then I also have some set of people encouraging and pushing me.
Exactly.
So I didn't let the criticism let me down. Rather, I picked from the encouragement and I made it. I let it to make me fly. So and as time goes on, when people are saying the beauty I was turning this waste into, they started falling in love with it. And in fact, up to today, people who criticize me, then anytime they see opportunity on sustainability, they are always quick to share me. So, and I'm glad that I didn't give up.
Interesting. Awesome takes and examples. Okay, so now I'm also going to come back to you and you know, check in and ask. Of course, because oftentimes you realize that this space that we are in, it feels like it's not the normal trajectory. You say so. So have there been times where it felt like you are going against the norm and people are looking at it like, what is happening here? What is going on here? Are there times like that?
Yes, for sure. I think it's something I've experienced one too many times, especially when
Tell us about
I'm studying sustainability. The first thing that comes to mind is, what's that? What are you going to do with that? What are you going to, what kind of a degree is that? Why are you spending so much money studying that? And then I have to sit down and start explaining. But I will say something.
Right.
I think the media plays a huge role in this. I think it's the depiction of the media and the conditioning of the mind that's happened over the years.
Right.
It is not just that thought process of when you think of sustainability, you think of like the degradation of that, the space and the industry did not happen overnight. I think the media contributed to it as well. And, you know, we started hearing terms like, oh, leave trash for Loma, leave waste for Loma.
Right.
You hear things like that. And
true.
it's like, where did this ideology come from? When you sit and think about it, you realize that the media did play a role in how this came about. So, yes, I felt going like I was going against the grain, especially because. But the beautiful thing about it now is, with the way the world is, especially since COVID, I think a lot of people are now realizing, and there's now it's slow, but there's now a slightly more upward saturation in the sustainability industry than there was 5 years ago.
Right.
If you notice, like there's been an upward trajectory. Like, all of a sudden, it's almost as if people have said, "Oh, there's money in this thing. Oh, there's money in this thing."
I was going to get there.
Let's what are we like? Oh, we've been sleeping on this industry. And another thing that's really, really helped is people are now beginning to see that sustainability is really embedded in everything. And I think that's really why I love what I'm studying. There's sustainability in finance, there's sustainability in consulting, there's sustainability in aviation, there's sustainability in marketing, there's sustainability in almost every field you can think of. So I think that's really the beauty. And slowly but surely it's becoming mainstream.
Right.
We are not quite there yet, but sustainability and the environment is becoming mainstream. And also because with everything that's been happening, I think people are now realizing, especially this past December, if you remember, like, where's Hamatan? Where's Hamatan?
Yes.
And all of people are now telling them, we've been saying this thing for 10 years,
but
for 20 years. You did not pay attention. Why are you asking us where's Hamatan?
Yeah.
So I think now the world is forcing everybody to pay attention. Like you can no longer ignore.
Right.
By the time you are looking for rain and there's no rain, by the time you are looking for this and there's no, you start asking questions and you start realizing, oh, these people were onto something.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something
but nobody was paying attention.
Exactly. Like, oh, why did we not listen to them then? So I'm really glad that awakening is happening, and I'm really here for it. Really.
Awesome. But I was going to ask and say, so when people were talking about issues around sustainability and saying, you are studying this course, why will you be doing this thing? What's happening? What's that safe? How did you manage all of that? How did you was there some idea or tactics you used to preach the gospel of conservation?
Yeah. One thing I would definitely say that's helped when I talk to them is really helping them understand what it is. I think a lot of times people speak from a place of lack of understanding. I don't want to term it as ignorance. They really just don't understand. They don't know what it is. And what people don't understand, they shut down because they cannot comprehend. They cannot quite imagine, oh, what is this? Why? So I think something that's definitely helps is just having conversations. And it can be frustrating, it can be exhausting, because imagine having to preach to people one by one. But it's been helpful having these conversations and really helping them understand this is what it is and this is why it's important. Some people after all your explanation, they still go, I don't get it. Imagine
and you'll be like, bring your head here, let me knock it into your head.
Imagine when you've spoken to somebody for like 10, 15, 20 minutes and at the end of the day they're like, I don't get it. What does this mean? And you still have to sit and talk. But I found that it really helps me. I think one thing that really encourages me is really helps to strengthen my own resolve too. Because imagine it's almost like converting somebody, right? Because you have to preach, and the more you're saying, the more you're convincing even yourself, and the more you're even getting an in-depth understanding of what it is that you're talking about. So that's definitely it has been a perk. But also, I don't know that I've had any like outright negative reaction. It's just really more of questioning you and your sanity. Like, do you know what you're doing? Why are you wasting all this money? So I think that's mostly been what I've experienced.
Awesome. Okay, Zainab, I'd like to also come to you. So, of course, with the following through with the story you gave and the example you cited, when people will be like, why is this lady picking bottles and, with sack and all of that stuff? That was, of course, you are not doing the normal thing. That's not what people are used to seeing at that time, at the point in time. So how did you manage it? How did you handle it? How did you power through?
Okay. Then I leveraged on advocacy.
Yes.
I made use of my social media pages to make awareness on sustainability, waste management, and I think it was even then coincidentally Packham came into existence.
Oh, okay.
Then it was a win-win for me and Packham, as I was doing advocacy on how people can be sustaining the environment. Okay. I was also giving an indirect advertisement for Packham that do you know the waste you are generating, you can be earning from it, blah 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 blah.
Right.
So advocacy and empowerment, that's what I leveraged on.
Right.
So anytime I make a product, anytime I just make some things, I post it out there. Yes. And this thing, I would just like the plastic you are throwing away, this stuff was made from the plastic. So people are like, really? Wow. They were really amazed that so what they are saying as something useless.
Yes.
I see beauty. Value. I see beauty. I see money in it. So they were like, can you teach us? Can you do this? So from there,
to the big.
No, we are not big.
Okay. Okay. All right. So interesting take. I was going to say, at this point, please drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know how did you fall in love with nature. We want to hear from you as well, not just our guest, but also extending the conversation to you. How did you come to fall in love with nature? Tell us your interesting story. We'll be in the comments looking out and waiting for your conversation with us. Interestingly, we've talked about money. I'd like to stay with Zainab because when Naomi was also speaking about, she was saying when people now realize that money did this place, and people are pivoting to this space. So I want to come to you now. So how did you? Of course, it was something you were passionate about from the start. So how did you come to monetize this thing? For how did you convert your passion? Did you get to something actionable in this? Was there some story or some journey or some process to that?
Okay. First of all, I didn't start the sustainability journey just to gain, just to earn some profit.
Right.
I was just doing it because I love it.
Right.
So had been I was doing it for money, I would have given up since.
The challenges and all those
exactly. So as I was doing it, I started following some pages on Instagram. The first page that I followed that I saw that it synced with me was Sustain Vibes. So I followed it and Instagram started bringing all stuff and I got to know about NCF too on Instagram. Right. So when I was doing it, different applications started coming in. I just applied for a particular application that I wanted to just gain knowledge. Yeah. So the organization now called me that they love my story.
Wow.
I never knew that it was a business application. I just applied. Yeah. So they said they love my story and but before they could pick me, that I need to register that I need to register under a company whatsoever. I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And that's how I gave birth to Zanitecture. So I registered it as a company and we started. And when I applied, naturally I love writing. So that's why it was so interesting that anytime I apply for things, I do tell people, it depends on how you tell your story.
Right.
So when I registered Zanitecture, and at that moment, I learned a lot about business and I was like, okay, this is that I'm doing. Instead of me to just be talking, right. I can be earning from it. Right. So I started posting my products, putting a price tag. From there, schools, organizations started reaching out that we need you to come and train people, and that's how we started earning our money from my passion.
So one very key thing from what you talked about is how it's important to be passionate about what you do first. That's the basis to have before you can now say you want to scale to making. All right, so I'll come to you. Yeah. So how do you? Of course, I know that many young people are also listening. Of course, me too. I want to make money, but so how do you scale your love into something economically viable? Your love for nature now, as it were, into something.
The first thing to know is that you cannot be in this space for money.
Right. So
you get frustrated. You get burnt out. You get it's a lot. You get. I feel like it's a lot.
When you pause and say that is a lot.
So if you are here just for money, I mean, money is good. Mm-hmm. Money is great. So I'm not even going to say don't know. Money is important. You need money to do it, to scale impact.
True.
Passion is good, but money is important too. So it's really finding that balance and understanding, like Zainab has just said, that there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of resources, but you have to do the findings as well. I think when people come into this space, because it's a space that's just becoming mainstream,
right,
as opposed to like the other fields and sectors and industries, there's still a lot of in-depth research that is needed. And I think that is what discourages a lot of people. They don't like that, But one thing I tell them is you have to dig deep to find gold. Gold is not on the surface. If gold was on the surface, everybody would be a billionaire now.
This is the point where we say word.
So you have to really dig and you have to be patient, because you really never know, but you just know that you have to dig deep and find depth. Right. So you have to stay the course. But there is a lot of opportunities. Like this is something I do not gatekeep. I tell a lot of young people, like if you're looking for where to make money, this field is where it is at. This industry, I know people who earn multiple 6 figures USD from this industry. But you just have to realize that there's a lot of obstacles as well. So you really have to know that you cannot just be here for money, unless you'll be frustrated very quickly.
Right.
But like Zainab has said, I think her story is a testament to what a lot of people will tell you in the sustainability space. If you're passionate and you keep at it, you definitely find gold. But you also need to know that it's a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
True.
Yeah.
Awesome take. In fact, I love how the conversation is flowing, and you mentioned something about community earlier and the importance of having communities as a support system when you're feeling overwhelmed and feeling tired. And of course, at NCF, we also have thriving communities, of course, through volunteering, like you mentioned, and we have membership structures in place where people to also help handhold people through this journey of conservation. Yeah. So at communities as it were. How I would like us to just talk a little bit more about communities. How important is it? Let's be a bit more practical. Why do I really need communities? If somebody is listening and wants to maybe is looking to come into this space or is looking to get direction or clarity, what role exactly would communities play in their journey?
Without community, you'd more or less be clueless, to be honest. Because like I said, sustainability is very, very vast. It interconnects with every industry, with every sector. It's in aviation, it's in finance, it's everywhere.
Wow.
So imagine coming into a space imagine walking, let's use an analogy now. You're walking into a mansion where there are like 600 rooms and you're supposed to go to a specific place and get something. You need a map. You need a roadmap. You need a guide. Otherwise, you just be going from room to room. And by the time you get to like the 57th room, you just sit down. You're like, I'm tired. I'm not going again.
I give up. Black.
Because you don't know where it is that you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that what community does for you, it provides that blueprint and that map. So you just realize, okay, I'm interested in these 5-10 things. Maybe these are the rooms I'm supposed to check out. And then by the time you're checking those rooms, you just realize, oh, okay, this is what I want to do. And I think it really helps also with career pivoting. Because a lot of people who, because they were naysayers or they did not believe in what this was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they studied something completely different. And now they're saying, maybe I want to go into sustainability, right? But they're confused.
Yeah.
So what community would do is guide you. Okay, you are here. How do you want to get here? So this is where to go. This is how to pivot. These are the certifications to take. This is how to leverage this. So community gives you leverage. Community gives you support. Yeah. Community gives you a roadmap. Community provides a blueprint.
Awesome, amazing takes. My jotter is full already. But also, Zainab as well. Want to touch on add a few things about the importance of community as well, because I'm sure, based on the nature of the work you do, you also leverage communities a lot.
Yeah. We have a community also at Zani Texture where we call them the Zani tribe.
Interesting.
So I can't be everywhere.
Right.
I can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
So there are some times that at some point invites will just come in at once.
Yeah.
So I can't be everywhere. I will just and I have some people. What actually led to the community was that anytime I go for an outing, for a training, and people will start messaging me, Zani, please, anytime you have this outing, can I be your handbag? I just want to learn this. Yeah. I was like, okay. How many people do I want to keep messaging at a go? I was just like, okay. I discussed with my team and I said, okay, let's just have a community, and we created that community. As they are helping Zanitecture,
Yeah.
they are also helping themselves.
Right.
And there are some moments that even the grants, some of the grants that we apply for, it is these community members that are like,
Yeah.
oh, Zani, we saw this. Can you apply?
Yeah.
Just imagine that I don't have the community.
Yeah. How you have been able to leverage
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Then community, just like she said, community helps a lot, because you can't be everywhere. You can't do it alone. As I have the community, I learn from them also, because nobody's an island of knowledge.
True.
And we keep learning. We learn every day. So I learn from them. They also learn from me. Right. So community is like a backbone that you need. Yeah. I pour into them, they pour into me.
Right.
So community is very, very important and vital.
Awesome. Amazing take. I was going to also add, because when Naomi was also speaking, she also mentioned something very, very important. How this space is vast, and of course, if you're not very careful, if you're just think you just want to come and dabble into money in the mind, you would lose your footing, And as you were speaking, you were talking about the fact that sustainability is in almost every sector you can think of, and that stood out for me. Sustainability in aviation, in finance, and so for anybody listening, there's a whole lot of opportunities that people can get into, and so. There's I'm sure you're picking your cues and finding where to find your bearing. Again, like we mentioned, it's still the love edition. And I'm so excited about the love parts. Yeah. So, and I would like to now pivot a bit into something about this love. So now I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
If nature was your vow,
yeah,
what was that one promise would you make? I like that pause.
My promise to nature would be to not give up on it.
To not give up on it.
Yeah.
Nice. Now one line punch.
Yeah.
Okay, so awesome. To not give up on it.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. Zainab, if nature was your vow, what promise would you make to it?
Okay. Dear nature.
Okay. Yon is a letter like from Bridgerton.
Dear nature, if I'm to choose between breathing and loving you,
okay,
I will use my last breath to love you and to care for you.
Shakespeare.
Interesting. See lines. Let me take note of something. So when I'm going to do one or two. But awesome take. So now I'm, of course, because like we mentioned, and we also established some important points, some ground points. Community is very important. If you don't have places and structures, people to handhold you, you might lose your bearing.
Yes.
Now, so somebody might be thinking or might be out there wondering, what this nature thing is not for me. Is it really for me? They are confused or wondering, how do I go about this thing? What do I do? So what advice do you have for the young Nigerian out there who is wondering, are you sure this thing is for me, or nature is not for people like me? What's that advice you would have for them?
My advice to them would be one of my life philosophies.
Please.
And the philosophy is, there's no one right way to do anything. There's never one right way to do anything.
Right.
So think out of the box. You don't have to go the conventional path.
Right.
For me, definitely, my path has been very, very unconventional. So there's no one right way to do anything.
Yeah.
So if you wake up and you feel like this, everybody has been doing it like this, or a lot of people are doing it like this, I want to try like this. I think it's something that you should go for. Don't feel like because this is the normal and that's the beauty of sustainability.
Right.
There's really no normal trajectory, to be honest. So when you speak to a lot of industry professionals, they just tell you, and I've never heard two people's story that is the same ever.
Right. There's no one size fits all
ever. So it's always, I started here, I did this, and then on this person will start from here. It's almost like they're coming from many different parts. So there's no one right way to do anything.
All right.
Find community. I feel like this cannot be stated enough. Find community. You cannot do it alone, and do the research. There's a lot of opportunities, but the beauty, like Zainab said, I like that we are in sync. One thing that will happen to you, I can promise you, once you dip your foot in the water, it's almost like you've just triggered something. Opportunities will just start finding you.
Interesting.
That is, I can assure you for sure.
We need to take that first step.
Just take the first step. Every other thing will just work out. It will align. The alignment will happen.
Right.
So you just need to be bold enough to take the first step.
Awesome. Like you said, we are all in sync.
Yeah.
So I was going to move on to, and I know, so in a way, my final question to Zainab will be, so like now let's take that cue. Someone wants to take their first step, you know. So you, for instance, now at a pitch deck, or some founders were trying to make some. So you're trying to you need to mentor some young people that want to take their first step. What would you advise them to do? What's that first step you say they should take?
Okay. Number one, find a niche. Like we are just like Naomi said that sustainability is very broad. You need to choose a particular one you feel that your strength is. For me now, recycling and advocacy.
Right.
Then show up every time. Volunteer.
Right.
Because you can't just stay indoor and opportunities come. You need to volunteer. You need to show up. Then research.
Oh, okay.
Because new things come up every day.
Right.
New things come up every day. As I am, I still make a research on how to grow, how to build my own brand and all. Then practice the simplest or the simple thing you can practice by being eco-friendly is sustain the environment by not littering the floor. Please keep the environment clean. Because environment is not meant to be destroyed by anyone.
Right.
It is not our property.
Yeah.
It is the responsibility of everyone to protect it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and it is not this sustainability that we are shouting since years back. It's not one man's job.
True.
It is for everyone. Just like Naomi said that it is into every courses.
Yeah.
As a lawyer, you can key into sustainability.
Right.
As a banker, you can key into it. Even as a business owner, we need sustainability because we need to be sustainable. We need to be accountable for everything we are using.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, beautiful conversation. You know, like anytime we're also having conversations around them, you know, it feels like we just keep going on and we could go on and there are interesting points and how we are coming in sync. So that's fun to know. So finally, I'll just take our final takes before we call the wrap. So for you, Naomi, what's that final word as we leave? Give them, tell them so they can hear you.
There's no one way to love nature. Do it your way. Find your way. Find your path. Even if it's unconventional, even if it's not the traditional way, find your way.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Find your way. People need to find their way. And also, Zainab, I'll come to you. Your final words as we call it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep showing up and keep loving the nature.
Yeah.
If an opportunity does not knock, please build a door for the sake of the nature. Thank you. Awesome
final words. You know, and I found a profound quote from Robin Kimmerer that was saying that knowing that you love the earth encourage you to defend, to protect, and to celebrate it. You know, so on that final note, that's we've come to a wrap of this amazing episode. Keeping in line with our tradition, we'd also like to give our guests our typical board where they can inscribe and show that they came here, they stopped by here. So let's have our board. Thank you. Okay, so we'll start with you first. Yes. They would like to do in secondary school. Naomi, did you write on your wall? I was here. Naomi,
Zani was there.
Zani was here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. You will come. We should be thanking you. All right. So, carefully pass to you, Naomi.
Okay.
Yeah. So you find your spot. Yeah. When you do, I was here.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So who's helping me with this board? Okay. Thank you. Gracias.
Yeah.
Zainab, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes. You're most welcome. And Naomi, thank you for gracing our podcast with your presence. Yes. You might want to do a little unboxing if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yes. And let's see your unique gifts that you have for us. And yes, on that note, please, we have unique merchandise in-house, special customized Naija Eco Vibes branded items. So yes, you can copy us in the comment. Let us know if you want some material. Yeah, you can just do a little unboxing for us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cute.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And also, yes, as we wrap up on that final notes, it's important we just remind you again that conservation is not just about policy and science. That's a very key point. Yeah. But about our personal journeys, our personal stories, and like we've learned, there are so many angles to sustainability, to nature, where you can love nature from. So even in that thing which you are doing, you can find a way to love nature in it. So till we come your way again, don't forget to keep tabs with us at NCF Nigeria and at Naija Eco Vibes Podcasts. Still remember, we are sustaining nature one vibe at a time. Peace out.